Hello everybody, and today is probably the biggest FNAF movie video so far. Every single Easter egg, reference, and other things you may have missed. Again, this video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, you can go and watch my non-spoiler review. The link is in the description, or you can press the icon in the top right. Because of the length of the video and how much storage I have on my computer, we're going to attempt to speedrun this video. So we're going to be noting down the timestamp when we start and when we end, mainly because I don't know how to add a timer. But if I manage to figure it out whilst editing, then you'll have that instead of me just randomly counting out numbers. To avoid copyright, I'm only going to show screenshots of the film, not clips, meaning that you can probably watch the first couple of minutes in this video without being spoiled. Firstly, the office itself has quite a few Easter eggs. The original FNAF 1 Celebrate poster, the same red striped cup, crumpled paper, and the fan. And the camera angles are pretty similar to the FNAF 1 camera angles as well. Fun fact, this guy was supposed to be the role that Markiplier would have played, but Mark was too busy filming his own movie, Iron Lung, to make it work. Maybe we'll see him in the sequel. We get to see how the vents are a similar recreation of the FNAF 2 vents, not exactly in terms of location, but the way they look. Next up is an Easter egg from Foxy, with him singing his classic Dum 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 song from FNAF 1. He also attacks the night guard by running down the left hallway, just like how he does in the games. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're wondering how Mike escapes the Torture Freddy device later on in the movie, it's because this security guard loosens it for him before he dies in an effort to escape. As the opening credits play, we get the clouds on the show stage and the drawing wall. None of the drawings match anything from the games, if you're wondering. The entire opening credits are technically Easter eggs to the lore mini-games you got back in the early franchise, like FNAF 2. Specifically though, this moment with Afton putting on the springbonnie suit references this moment in FNAF 4, and the balloons Afton gives out match the colours of the ones in the FNAF 4 minigame too. Mike's alarm clock going off at 6 AM is a reference to each night in each game ending at 6 AM, and the pills on the bedside table may or may not be a reference to FNAF 4, where pills can rarely be seen beside the bed. That one I'm a tiny bit unsure about. Mike's Dream Theory book is a reference to the very controversial theory that stated the first 3 FNAF games were just imagined up by the bite victim. There's a Chica's Magic Rainbow reference at the ice cream parlour, and after Mike beats up that guy, we move over to steveraglan. He's wearing a yellow shirt with a purple tie. The purple is obviously signifying that whenever Williamafton is doing a murder or something like that, he's purple guy, as he was known back in the day. Whenever Williamafton is pretending to be someone else or hiding his identity, he's associated with the colour yellow. Mikeschmidt is an Easter egg to the player in FNAF 1, and also the name for Josh Hutcherson's character, as it's practically been ruled out that Mikeschmidt and Williamafton are not the same character in the film franchise, unlike the games. In Abby's school, we get a shot with a blackboard that has some oddly specific words to it: bear, bunny, chick, fox, and more surprisingly, puppet. I do also want to praise the movie for actually happening across the course of 5 nights. Yes, he did go to the location 6 times, but his 5th visit is during the day, so they stayed true to the name. Moving on to Mike's first night, we get our first of 3 total Balloon Boy jump scares. This one may be a bit of a stretch, but the thank you on the bins may be a reference to the Chuck E. Cheese thank you boxes. In other words, that's what the restaurant chain calls their bins. The price counter has a few Easter eggs, the Funko plushies, the Hex plushies, and other off-brand merch like the witheredchica mask. That gave me nightmares. In Mike's dream, we get the 5 kids. We don't get their actual names during the film, but if you look at past evidence from the games, we can guess the names: Jeremy, Fritz, Gabriel, Susie, and the Golden Freddy spirit being either Cassidy or the crying child. Next, we get our first of 2 references to Sparky the dog. For those who don't know, Sparky was a hoax in FNAF 1, where someone edited a picture of a fake animatronic called Sparky the dog that doesn't harm you. We'll come back to the second reference when we reach it. We also get our first in-person YouTuber cameo, MatPat. And to make it even better, they had him say, "It's just a theory." And, if you look at his name tag, it says Ness on it, in reference to the controversial Sans is Ness theory. Back at the pizza place, we see the words "It's me" written on the mirror, in reference to Golden Freddy calling out to his brother when he sees him in FNAF 1. More camera angles, and now we get what is most likely the clearest shot of the Employee of the Month board. The board features many popular FNAF content creators such as Dorko, Fusion Z Gamer, and 8-Bit Ryan. If you recognize anyone else there, put it in the comments. This one isn't an Easter egg, but something that many people missed. After the cupcake starts to play around with Carl, you can see Chica walking over to the kitchen from behind the giant fan. I think it's quite cool what they did here. And yes, I did notice this one first time round while watching the film. Carl the Robber is also 2 Easter eggs in one. First, his name is a reference to the fan theory that the cupcake's actual name is Carl, and guess who kills him? Carl Cupcake kills Carl the Robber. His other Easter egg is that he's wearing a Midnight Motorist t-shirt. For those who don't know, Midnight Motorist is a FNAF 6 minigame in which you play as presumably Williamafton right after he kills Charlotte Emily, hence the later that night part of the minigame. Hank gets killed in a reference as well. In the Silver Eyes novel, Dave, or Williamafton, attempts to escape from Chica, so he locks himself in the office, only to find Bonnie already there waiting for him. In the film, Hank runs away from Chica, only to get locked in the supply closet and Bonnie kills him. Later on in the film, we get a second Sparky the Dog reference. Yes! He's real, everybody, and Hank was stuffed inside of him. Also, if you look to the left a bit, you can see what is most likely Shadow Freddy. It's a purple bear suit, and Max was stuffed inside it. We can see an endoskeleton head in the background, which may very well be witheredfoxy's head, as a sequel tease, but we'll just have to wait and see. Plus, it's kinda hard to tell with the camera angles and everything. Max's death, and bear in mind, this one may be a bit of a stretch, but it may very well be a
"Was that the bite of 87?
reference, because the torso got bitten off by Freddy. Back at the house, there's a sun clock that looks very similar to the one we get a glimpse of in Sister Location, and when we see the back of Foxy's head, we see that his eye patch is held up by duct tape, which is a reference to the FNAF 1 Foxy model, in which his eye patch wasn't attached to anything and just kind of floated there. And this is possibly the biggest spoiler in this video, so if you haven't seen the film and you're still watching, I recommend you click off the video right now. We get a shot of the massive Ella doll animatronic in the back room, and not only that, she's also a springlock suit. For those who don't know, Ella was one of the 4 animatronics Henry made to replace Charlie in the Silver Eyes novel. That's practically the entire plot of the books. Charlie gets killed by Afton, which led Henry to make 4 animatronics for each stage of her life to replace her, with Ella being the youngest. This also leads to the question, is Henry in the film franchise? If you want to see me answer that question, you can go and watch me do exactly that by pressing the iCard in the top right, or the link in the description. Obviously, you might want to finish this video first. The way Golden Freddy lures Abby out of the house is reminiscent of Midnight Motorist, which a 3-toed animatronic lures Michael out of the house. And now we get to see coryxkenshin driving the taxi, the second YouTuber cameo. And this photo of On with the springbonnie is just so cool, I just wanted to bring it up. When Foxy is hunting Abby in the arcade, it's an Easter egg to the Silver Eyes novel again, in which Foxy is hunting Charlie instead. The way Afton gets springlocked is a reference to the Silver Eyes novel and the Fourth Closet novel. The drawing shows the animatronics who actually killed them, which references the Fourth Closet, and Afton gets dragged away whilst the main characters escape, which references the Silver Eyes. He says I always come back, as his iconic line too. The Living Tombstones FNAF 1 song plays in the credits, as we all knew it would, and Cora gets jumpscared by Balloon Boy. The credits then continue with the Puppets theme, and the robotics voice spelling Come Find Me, as a final sequel tease. And that's it. 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Every single Easter egg, reference, and things you may have missed in the FNAF movie. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed, because wow, that took ages to record. Like I said earlier, if you want to see me answer the question of Henry's existence in the FNAF movie, then press the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.